Hi, I'm Janice, and today I'll be doing my PowerPoint over lung cancer caused from smoking. And smoking causes cancer. So there are many chemicals in cigarettes that cause cancer. What the chemicals do, they attack the structure of our DNA and many organs in our body, and eventually over time, that's what causes the cancer because the same cell keeps getting worn down by the toxins that are in the cigarettes. And the smoke gets into our bloodstream as we inhale it. Then after the bloodstream, it starts going into our lungs and things like that. And smoking causes over 15 different types of cancer. So we're talking about cancer in the throat, in the mouth, the stomach, liver, pancreas, and pretty much every organ in your body is affected by smoking. And lung cancer has one of the lowest survival rates out of all the other cancers caused by smoking. 1 in 4 people that smoke cigarettes are diagnosed with lung cancer. And there's risk when smoking cigarettes. The more packs you smoke the day, the higher risk of lung cancer. And it doesn't matter the type of tobacco because there is no safe way to smoke. So a lot of people think if they get a cigarette with a filter or with less of those bad chemicals in it, it causes, they'll have a lesser chance of getting lung cancer or any type of cancer, and that's not the case at all. And the longer you smoke, the higher risk of cancer. So somebody that smokes, I say 10 packs a week for 20 years has a lesser chance of getting lung cancer than somebody who smokes 10 packs for 40 years. So having a healthy lifestyle also doesn't stop the bad effects of smoking cigarettes. A lot of people often think that if they work out or eat healthy, it'll slow down the bad effects of smoking cigarettes, but that does not happen at all. It doesn't matter. The cigarettes are still going to affect your body just as fast as somebody who is unhealthy. And cancer, but how continued? There are many harmful chemicals in cigarettes that damages one DNA. So the certain chemicals that are in the cigarettes kind of latch on to the cells that are in our DNA, and over time start damaging them. And eventually that one cell keeps getting damaged over and over and over again, and then that's how the cancer is formed. And once that damage is done, there is really no going back. Some people think they can kind of reverse the bad effects of smoking cigarettes, but they cannot. Once it's damaged, it's done. And smoking damages the immune system and makes it harder for our body to fight off those toxins and the toxins that help form cancer into our bodies. And how long would it take to get cancer? Well, several years after smoking is when lung cancer forms. Somebody can be smoking for 10 years and never get lung cancer, but they start showing signs of lung cancer after they've been smoking for 30 or 40 years. Some people think, well, I've been smoking for so long, I'm not going to get cancer, but that is not the case at all. It doesn't matter. It can show up later. It can show up 10 years later, 20 years later. Eventually, almost everybody that smokes cigarettes for a long period of time does get cancer at some point in their life. And each cigarette smoked is damage to our body and the structure of the lungs. Not only the lungs, the other organs in our body like our heart and our liver and our stomach, things like that, they all get damaged over time. The longer you smoke a person that smokes cigarettes has a less life expectancy than somebody who doesn't. About 10 years is cut off your life if you smoke cigarettes. And there's new trends out there. We have e-cigarettes, vapes, and Juuls. Pretty much, e-cigarettes are a battery-operated device that is nicotine mixed with flavored vapor. Comes in different types of flavors. You have watermelon, blueberry, grape, pineapple, which also makes it a little bit more, I guess, enjoyable to smoke because it doesn't taste as bad. Vapes are pretty much the same thing as e-cigarettes. They're also battery-operated. And they also it's also nicotine mixed with flavored vapor. Juuls are a little bit different. They are USB shaped devices that are battery operated as well, and it makes it a little bit easier to sneak into places because it looks like a USB. It doesn't look like a pen or vape, so it makes it easier for people to sneak into places where you can't smoke at. But the thing with Juuls is there are about 5% nicotine, so that's the equivalent of smoking 10 packs of cigarettes. People often wonder, is it better or worse than cigarettes? Well, they say that vaping is a little bit less harmful than smoking actual cigarettes. And the reason why it's less harmful is because it doesn't have any of the harmful chemicals in it that cigarettes do have in them. And cigarettes give off harmful gases that e-cigarettes do not. Cigarettes have tar in it, so you won't be smoking that tar chemical or anything like that when you're doing e-cigarettes. There's obviously a downside to vaping and doing pens and things like that. Smoking often can lead to diabetes because the nicotine in it causes a problem with the insulin. It makes it makes it a little bit harder for our bodies to absorb it. And it can also cause high blood pressure. The nicotine in these pens and cigarettes increase our heart rate, and that's also what leads to high blood pressure because it not only increases your heart rate, but it increases your pressure as well. And it could also cause impaired brain development. So a lot of teenagers that smoke will have a harder time having their brain becoming fully developed because of all the chemicals and things in smoking. And it increases a risk of addiction to other drugs because with pens especially, there's such a high nicotine percentage in it, and it causes the brain to crave not only nicotine but also other drugs to kind of fill that void that it's filling. And it can cause a rare form of lung disease, smoking pens and vapes, because of the high percentage of nicotine in it. And here are my citations.